What's up, fuckers? Just kidding. Hey, love you all. Just saying, I wanted to say, airports are worse than hospitals. I'm gonna say like just places that I fucking hate. I would say I'd rather sit 12 hours in a hospital and like the most dingy ass fucking like blinding lights area than an airport. The reason why, yeah, 100%. The reason why is that in airports it's either you're constantly waiting in regards to like either where your plane is, if it's arrived or not. And if it's fucked up, then it makes, and if it's delayed, then you feel even shittier. Not to mention, for a lot of airports, there's hardly any really good seating air places where you have to like either fight for them. And if not, it's always super cramped and like packed with people. And when you're already super cranky and like pissed off because either you missed your flight or you have to wait a while. Whereas in hospitals, I feel like there's like reserved seating areas. There's like
this take is apocalyptic.
And not to mention, after coming off in an airport, when you're sleep deprived, you fucking want to kill yourself from hopping from one plane to another.
No.
I feel like I'm way more cranky in an airport than hospitals. So I'm gonna say hospitals are better.
I'm about to check you so fucking hard.
Does anybody else agree with him?
No. This take is insane. Okay, so I'm gonna jump in first because this take is insane, and I feel like I have this one locked down. Okay, one, your base premise is shit. The idea that hospitals or airports are really better than the other doesn't make any sense. Here's the thing, if you're just sitting in a building, it doesn't really matter. I would probably go with airports because there's less like weird smells and there's also restaurants and shit. Now, that being said, the reason that you don't like airports is because of the flights and like the stress around traveling. Like you said, you missed your flight, whatever, there's fuckloads of other people. So that's all about traveling. That's not necessarily about airports, I'd say. Now, here's the other thing. You're not really considering how bad a hospital could be. I would sit in so many, like, I would miss, like, 10 flights in a row instead of sitting in a hospital while, like, your spouse or kid dies. You know what I mean? I think everyone would be like, no.
Died in the hospital. It's like, at least I'm not in an airport.
At least my plane isn't late. You fucking psycho. Not only in an airport, it's your choice not to go sit in a restaurant for a while. Yeah, no, that's the most insane take ever. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I usually wait in restaurants. That's like kind of my habit in airports. It's usually comfy. And it's,
that's an incredible take.
Like, a lot of the restaurants,
you miss your flight twice, then you're like, this is worse than watching a family member die.
The thing is, in so many restaurants, so in airports, it's like either you have to give them like a specific credit card to even go into them. It's like, oh, you're not a member or whatnot. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's
like,
not a restaurant. That's
are you trying to go into lounges?
That's a club. That's a
yeah,
lounge.
of course you.
No, there are some restaurants.
You don't get to go into those places.
There's plenty of restaurants where you
There's
don't
plenty of
have that. Like
every time I've gone to an airport,
Aries?
except like shitty airports, like Athens sucked. But every time I've gone into an airport, it's been completely like I just go sit in a restaurant, and then like the half an hour before whatever you walk over to, it's no big deal. Yeah,
I get a nice steak at restaurants every time I go. Every time I fly.
Yeah. Even just sit and drink. Like,
I think maybe you have to do that. You have to treat yourself when you're in an airport.
Yeah,
because you're about to sit on a plane with a small child for fucking 14 hours. Yeah, go fucking eat a steak.
You thought it was a good idea to bring Subway on the plane.
Yeah, and he's eating it 9 hours in, and it's obviously rancid.
I think that's my extra point. I'll just say is that there's such minor inconvenience. That's the thing. Is there's such minor inconveniences
it's still a bad take.
when being in an airport that it pisses me off more than having to stay in a hospital. Because hospital's like, okay, I have to be here for a reason.
Like Calvin said, the reason is usually way worse in the hospital than
Colton. I would agree with you if you were just talking about like minor things that piss you off and you're just grumpy.
Are you talking about like a doctor's office, or it's one of those things where you're getting mixed up with a doctor's office right now?
No, like hospital.
It's like the only reason or that I'm in a hospital.
Wild.
It's like either for specific reasons. So it's like, okay, my mentality is like, okay, I have to be here for
If you're in an airport,
hours.
I hope you're there for a specific reason.
But it's like when you're in an airport, you're just traveling. You're just going from A to B.
When you're pause. When you're in a hospital, you have to be there for X amount of hours. Why do you have a timer on when your grandma's gonna die? Why are you like, no, she's only
got shit to do.
He's got shit to do. Oh my god, Colton, I want you to know when something really bad happens in your life, life and you're sitting in a hospital in like 5 years, I'm gonna call you and be like, at least
Yeah.
it's not an airport,
Colton.
and you're gonna go tell me to kill myself.
Honestly,
Okay?
Colton,
You know
it's
what,
gonna
that's an
happen.
insane
That's
thing.
like,
we're gonna record it. I'm gonna
Don't get me wrong. If I'm sitting in an airport and then I look out on the landing strip and my grandma gets run over, that's okay. That sucks. I'll agree with you then that it's worse than an airport. But still, that's not happening.
Yeah, that's a wild one.
Anyways,
Yeah,
that's my take. I'm still standing by it.
Jesus Christ.
I
What
fucking
a
hate
fucking
airports. I
start.
don't know.
You hate airports?
you. So I
I do too.
did you
I mean, I
only
don't
have
like-
like a bad experience at airports or something? Is
Yeah.
that
I've
generally I
experienced
kind of
the-
like flying. Like I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess the flying is like okay. It's just the constant like. Yeah,
No, even,
just
like, the
atmosphere
process,
and
I
vibe
guess.
when you're stressed and trying to get through places, and not to mention
Well, okay.
TSA always being such a hassle to get through.
That part's a little
Just kinda-
Once you're through that, I'm like, ooh, it's fun. It's chill. Just chill at the
I
airport.
mean, and you just gotta take your shoes off, take your
Why
boots
is it
off, just
stressful?
follow the instructions.
That's stressful. but...
What I'm saying is like,
Are you carrying something?
Colton, when you
Cade's
book
over
your
here with
flights-
drugs up his ass.
I know, right? Are you
Sweating
smuggling
his way
stuff?
through TSA.
So you're saying I need to learn how
Colton,
to
when
put
you
drugs
book
in
your
my ass.
flights, you're supposed to book your flights so that you won't be stressed, so you have time between gates. You know what I mean? Do you just like book the cheapest option and then like not?
It's
Sometimes,
Colton,
yeah,
of course he does.
yeah.
Of course he does.
Because you're gonna have like you're giving yourself like 10 minutes between gates after landing. Like
Just sprinting with your elbow up, plowing through people.
I have actually done that a
down.
couple times.
Oh my god.
So it's-
that's why
Pay
I don't
attention
like
for
it.
10 minutes.
So it's
and
one of those things that's
give
it's not.
yourself half hour.
It's a you problem as opposed to everyone else. Is that-
It's,
is
no,
that
it's
what you're trying
it's
to
a
say?
you problem, bro.
Yeah, like I meant like you
Yeah.
as into me.
Yeah. I mean, I think no. Don't get me wrong. Whenever I'm in an airport, I'm not having fun, so I always go to restaurants and I give myself like lots of room. Right?
Yeah, and
but
that too,
but
yeah.
like yeah, no. But when I'm in a hospital, like all the times I've been in a hospital, I would rather trade it for doing a bad flight, like to
Yeah,
Toronto and back
It's
every time.
usually either someone else is hurt or dying, or you're hurt and dying, and you're always like, oh god, I wish this didn't happen.
Yeah. If I broke my arm, I would be like, I would rather take a boring flight and waste a weekend going to Toronto and back. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
no, instantly. I've even like busted when I
I'd
busted
rather
my
fly
hands.
to Edmonton. Ugh.
Yeah, fucking. I'd rather talk to somebody from Edmonton or something. Ugh. You know. So I
Oh
think,
wait, fuck you.
I
That's
think
me.
you're crazy. Yeah, you idiot.
Idiot.
Did
So
you
yeah,
have to
that's
fly
a
recently,
fucking
Colton?
insane
Is this
thing.
a recent
I
event?
don't- Oh yeah, you went traveling recently. Did you?
Yes. I did a bunch in a couple. I think that's another thing too. If you know what, I think if you're a frequent traveler, I think people may agree with me.
Oh,
more.
that's true.
I
That's
think
true.
that's
I
what
know.
it is too.
I've never heard anyone hate traveling as much as people that like have to for work, and then they hate airports. They hate airports and they hate traveling. I mean, totally fair. Like whenever I get on a plane, which is not often, I haven't been on the plane in years. You know, so it's like very novel for me. But I would imagine that other people that fly a lot, especially if you have to fly for work, oh my
Years.
god.
You know what? Maybe if I was like visiting the hospital more, like as equivalent to the airplane or like the airports, then I may change my take. But at the moment, it stands.
Oh,
don't care.
I'm gonna
People can
roast
shit
you
on me.
so hard for this. I'm gonna play this back in like when your parents are dying. I'm gonna play this back in their room.
No. We're all gonna visit Colton on his,
Yeah.
his hospital, and we're gonna play this back. Yeah.
I can't wait for
Isn't
you
this
to be
great,
dying.
Colton?
Somehow I'm still alive and you're dying. Let's just pretend that's a reality. And I'm gonna be like, wouldn't you rather just be in an airport right now, you moron?
We're all gonna bring you like model airplanes or like big blown up airplane balloons. There you go, buddy. Hope you feel better. Glad you're in your happy place.
Yeah, glad you're happy, bud.
Okay, to finalize my take, I think it's
I just got more.
that's the last thing. It's like airports are just like basically the traveling. It's the destination that's always the fun part. The airports suck. That's it.
I'll agree with that.
You just said the same
Like,
thing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, do we want to go back to what we're supposed to do for an intro instead of launching into a tirade on why you want your parents to die instead of having to travel to Toronto?
My Uber's here. I'll one sec. Just I'll be 2 minutes, but you guys continue.
He's about to go to the
He's
airport.
gone. He's about to,
So you
he's
just
about to
dropped
go
the
kill
intro
somebody.
and-
I got some food coming here. What?
He
All
gets
right.
the intro wrong. Oh my god. Okay, well,
you had one job, and then you just.
okay. What else do you have?
Oh, he said he's going to get his food. He's gone.
Are we taking a break? No, we just keep
No,
going.
no, we keep
Yeah, we're
going.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kade, go.
Okay. Well,
Just go into the normal, what we're normally supposed to be doing.
oh, like the intro.
Yeah. Welcome to Sometimes Something,
Yeah,
everybody.
welcome.
By the
We're
way,
so sorry,
episode
Kolton.
2 or something. I don't know.
Episode 2, officially episode 2.
Episode 2. Let's go. Yeah, sorry about that, Colton. I
Sorry.
tried to explain what the intro was to him
Yeah.
twice, and he said he had it. But
Hey, I'm back.
Before
Sorry,
we-
I fucked up.
he
Before we
really
start, I'd be like,
wanted
who wants to do the
rant.
intro? Kolton's
It was
like,
just awkward
I
silence.
got
I
it.
wasn't sure what was going on, but whatever.
We were waiting for you to do the intro.
We said who's going to do the intro, and you said you, and I counted you in, and then you just sat there quietly. Then you screamed somebody else's podcast intro. By the way,
Oh, really?
what's up, fucker? Yes.
Oh, someone actually does that?
This Socks intro. Oh my god! Now we're just ripping them off. Maybe we'll have a porn star on it a little bit. Anyways, okay. Well, I've got 2 topics. New games suck, and older games are all better. The consoles are dying, and the PC master race is finally winning. Yeah, Kade.
I'm going to talk about death
I
and
could
bird
disagree
shit.
with that, but the second one.
Colton,
somebody
shut
take.
the fuck up.
Sorry,
Kade,
This is
go.
just like steamrolling Cade. Just
Kade, go.
Death and bird shit. Kari, go.
I was gonna talk about lamps are falling from the sky here in New Zealand, and
Okay.
What?
I had a topic from last week. I'm going to talk about what makes a good first pass.
All right.
Oh, that's a good topic. Can we go from Colton wants to watch his parents die to good first pass? Is that like a transition we can make?
Oh, and
I
my
really wanted
last
to
thing
hear
is,
that. Oh my god.
if you want to be a writer and actually learn how to fucking write good shit, you need to know this book that I'm gonna recommend.
Says the visual effects lighter.
Yes.
Somebody's been watching the strike.
Okay, let's
Someone's
go.
paying attention to this.
All right.
Yeah, goddamn.
Welcome to the show.
We're only 30 minutes in. That was a late intro. 20 minutes in. Okay, we're 15 minutes in. It's not that bad.
Right,
Cart,
right.
what do you think makes a good first pass? What are
Okay,
like
kick us off.
your major? I
Well,
feel like we
I-
all have very strong opinions on this, but I want to
Yeah,
hear.
I think we all.
I think
generally
they're all
agree,
the
but I have
same,
seen.
yeah.
I've seen some interesting. Other people interpret a first pass. So, like, for me, a good first pass is something that sells the idea enough to get your first set of notes, and enough work for it to look good, but not too much for you to have wasted your time on minute details, stuff like that.
And you're talking specifically about like a comp first pass,
I'm kind of
right?
thinking even in general. That's
Just
why I kind
art
of wanted to
in
bring it as a
general?
topic.
Art
Or,
for a
like,
client?
Art for a
Kind
client. So that's why I mean the general idea of enough work to get the idea, and not too much, time
Kinda like
wasted
the-
on details.
To rephrase that, it's like getting all the major ideas relative to your role. So if you're a comper, it's all the major comp ideas in the shot. I
If you're an animator, it's usually like
Yeah.
blocking or.
I think a first pass can also be like asking questions. Like sometimes I'll do a first pass and be like stuff will be blatantly missing, or like I'll be like, hey, here's our first pass, whatever the background and trees. I know we're doing characters, but I have no idea what we're doing for those. And maybe and then it goes into dailies, and then there's a discussion. They bring me up to speed on what's going on with, like, oh, the characters are coming from this studio, and they're going to be here in like 2 weeks or something. Like I had a bunch of stuff like that recently, where I was like, where is all of this stuff? You know what? I'm just going to shoot versions. Like, I'll make it look okay, so it matches kind of the looks we're going for. Shoot it and be like, we're missing all of this. What's going on with this?
Right.
I don't know if you would call that a first pass. Maybe like a 0.5. You know what I mean?
Well, I just call it just whatever. So that's what I mean. Where I think there is some confusion on like first pass versus this is the first version that looks good to me versus this is the first
Which
version
I
that
mean, I
shown.
think that should be the same thing, really.
I think it should be close to the same thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that there is a lot of potential for time to be wasted if you get too minute. I think for comp, most of the time it could be the same thing as long as there's no upstream things, because our job is the end.
I feel like
But
our job
like I
is
said,
most
like
of the time
I'm
is
just
just
thinking
like
general art.
organization.
Like you have a client saying, "I want a giant portal in the sky." It's probably going to have to be a little bit more rough for you to
Right. Yeah.
nail down what
Yeah,
they're
depends
thinking.
what you're doing. I always say for comp, because like I feel like a lot of people just they just put the stuff together and they put it up, right? And then you're just doing notes. So I always think that for your first pass, you should that's like your first your major opportunity to actually like make it look how you want. Not like it's still like within like the sequence and what everybody else is doing, but like if there's any like little things you want to try or make it look a certain way, like you do it there, because you can't do that, then you get notes, and then 5 versions, and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna try doing this, and they'll be like,
I don't know
did
about
you
that.
do
I do that all the time. I do that all the time, kid. I do that all the time where it's just like just starting a new job. I had the shot that was like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, maybe it's like that version doesn't really end up in dailies. Like it's versions that I shoot to be like, we need to talk about this because there's 6 cameras, 2 plates, and 4 retimes, and I don't know
like
what
a
any of
special
them are.
case, though.
It happens so fucking much. Just I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of only like the big annoying shot. Yeah. I think okay.
Also, if you're fast, it doesn't matter. So that's what kids say.
Fuck
He's
off.
saying he can.
Fuck off, sorry. Yeah, no, I think I've heard. I mean, a shot. Let's pretend the shot actually has everything. Then yeah. Obviously, I think we're on the same page.
It also, I'll add
It's
one thing.
super important not to go too small, though. Sorry, Colton, go ahead.
I'll add one thing, and it also depends on the show you're currently on. Obviously, for every fucking example, but for in between animation and VFX, for animation, they have. I mean, not all the time in the world, but you have way more time to like really flesh it out as a first pass. And not to mention, things are still cooking in the previous departments. So you're still waiting from effects and animation, and it's kind of just like, we want the building blocks good to go. So a first pass for them is just kind of like, oh, okay, we just see the shot, we can see like lighting direction and whatnot, see how it plays in the sequence. Whereas in VFX, it's kind of like, at least the shows that I've been on, it's more like, okay, we want this fast ASAP, send it to comp. Like as a lighter, it's just, we want this as good as it possibly can be. So when I've done just more like, oh, this is just like a first slap, they could be like, no, yeah, we need to improve this and make it look as best as possible, kind of thing. So
that is a good point. That context on like where the show is and what type of show. Like
exactly.
Like Kade went on like Morbius to name drop. Like I was doing temps. We were doing like 30 temps in like 2 weeks or something.
That's
but like
too.
You could still kind of call that like a comp first pass because it's just like throwing all the elements in to a degree.
Yeah, but that's
I guess I guess we're all saying the same thing. It does depend on the show. I was just on a show where it was like very into the show and I'd done a bunch of shots already that looked the same, and there was just new shots that were like full rebuilds, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the first pass, I was able to go much further than I normally would have because it's like I know what all the notes are going to be. And then even when I put it up, it was more of a sanity check and being like, I'm pretty sure I know what 80% of their notes are going to be.
Yeah,
but I'm just going to throw this up because it looks okay. Everything's there.
Later you go in the show, like there's not much room for doing like your own special stuff. Is like if you get a new shot or they add a new shot and it's in between 2 shots that have already been worked on for a year. You're like, well, I know exactly what this needs to look like.
Or even if it's just like a show that you've worked on for a while, and even if it is a one-off, you're probably pretty comfy on like what they like, color-wise, and just like all the comp, so you probably have like a good idea of where to go. Yeah, so I guess it depends. The earlier on in the show, the sooner I'll shoot, I think. Yeah. Unless it's like really early on and I get something complete and they're like, you have a lot of time, do whatever you want, which happens sometimes, then I'll probably sit on it like a bit.
To add to something with Kade, where it's like, as you got into the point where you just know what to do, there'll be first passes, and on some shows they've been on, or one in particular, near the end, they're like, your first passes, they'll, the producers of the show, they'll like bribe you with like Starbucks gift cards. It's like, if you get a first pass final, we'll give you a $10 gift card. And that happened to me a couple of times.
Really? That's
yes, it's like first pass. Final.
I don't think I've ever first pass final. I think I've come close like 1 or 2 times.
I think you did, Calvin. I thought one of the shows that I was with you on. I can't remember. But
I know I definitely have gotten like first pass creative on something really small and simple. On creative, maybe.
I mean, yeah,
but never like first pass tech. Yeah. I consider it the whole
tech,
thing.
Blah, no.
Well, some shots. Here's the thing. Some shots that I know. No. Here's the thing, Kari. If I think a shot could first pass final, I will tech it beforehand. So there's been like 5 or 6 shots where I'm like, this is a maybe. I'm gonna tech this to see if I can actually like, completely just do one version.
I say, by the way, when he says tech, he just means QCing, so checking for all the little details. In case people in the podcast aren't aware, 3 of us are compositors, and then one of us is a lighter. Can you guess?
And slash compositor. Fuck off.
No, you wish.
We got your answer.
Oh, That's fucking hilarious.
I didn't mean that in an insulting way, by the way. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
It sounded very insulting. You guess who the lighter is?
And a lighter. Guess who the fucking lighter is?
Later.
Ooh, at least we don't have any
We love all
animators.
departments.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, oops.
This is going to be a problem. We have guests.
And just to clarify more, like first looks are just like the shots that we're showcasing that all the great films that you see in the theaters these days, all the Marvel movies and all that shit. So
You said great films. Ooh.
Easy now.
oh,
All right, easy now.
Okay, who wants to go next? Who's got something else?
Let's say I'm gonna hear Cade's bird.
Alright.
Okay, it was bird. What was it? It was death and bird shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's go
You guys pick.
death. I want to hear death. Maybe we can make fun of Kolton more.
Death. It's not as sad as it sounds. I don't know if you guys saw this article that I'm pretty sure I saw it on Reddit like a few days ago. It was on the front page. So you probably did.
This is supposed to be like the existential crisis period.
No,
of this
no,
podcast?
not even
Okay.
close.
yeah.
It was billionaire Peter Thiel still plans to be frozen after death for potential revival. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Oh,
yeah.
God, that's interesting.
Yeah, in the thing he says like it's probably not gonna work, but like it's something you gotta try and do. So why not do it? But
That's crazy.
if you guys had the option to, would you choose to do that?
I mean, sure.
I
I'm not
actually-
religious, so I would probably go, okay.
I actually I learned a lot about it. It's really expensive.
Not really.
It's
Yeah.
really expensive.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
assuming
like- it's something that,
expensive
like-
to do it. Then they gotta maintain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but like also, I don't think I would. Like, I would if it was completely free and there was no. It puts a burden on the other families a lot because then they're like managing it and then like because you're paying like a monthly huge fee to keep it. It's a lot of energy to stay frozen.
No kidding.
They keep it within the correct temperatures and stuff.
Yeah, it's usually at some facility and it's like they change their prices and they gouge. Obviously
I
there's a
guess
lot
that
of scammy behavior in that world.
Depends.
But
I
I'm sure
feel
for a
like-
billionaire it's different.
I feel like for a
Yeah,
billionaire, he could probably even own the company. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
he's getting a deal, so to speak. But, I mean, like,
Yeah, I guess it would depend on price. Because if it is free, then it's like I guess why not throw me in there? But then I guess it's also like what state you're in when you're dying. Like, what if you're like not in good shape when you're die? It's like, well, do you want to? Well, I guess
That's a
you're
good point too.
hoping that
There's a
they
lot
can
of
heal
factors.
you when they come back, if you come back.
I mean,
That's
I
true.
don't think it matters at that point. Assuming, like, if it's ever going to be a financial problem for my family, I'd say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it was like I'm a billionaire, okay, here's $1 billion, but I'm a billionaire, so I got a couple of those, and the rest of my family's still going to be sorted. So
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I just feel like
What's the scenario? You're in a coma for it because you have to.
Well,
still
how
be
old is
alive,
he? You're just
right?
old.
how are you
You're
dead
just
dead
old.
like brain dead?
Well, brain dead isn't.
I know there's a lot of
it's-
different things, but like, what's the requirement for being frozen, Kate? Do you
I'm pretty
specify?
sure you're dead.
Oh, really?
Can't
I thought
come
you had
back
to
dead,
be-
dead. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
question that the interviewer asked
Yeah.
was, is it true that you've signed to be preserved when you die, so you might be brought back to life in the future?
Oh, well, that's different. I feel like, yeah, sure, try that.
Yeah.
But I,
Yeah, don't like drop by Saturday and freeze me. You know what I mean? Fuck
yeah,
that.
like I thought the ones I read about, people would be like in comas or in, have some condition that can't be.
Well, that's a
Reversed.
assisted suicide conversation, and that's illegal in like pretty much everywhere.
Well, it's not because technically you're not dead when you're frozen at that
I mean,
time.
legally, I'm
supposedly.
sure they could argue that you're dead.
Yeah, legally, yeah. Okay, when I say that technically, you know what I mean. Yes, legally,
Yeah.
that's a part of the controversy too. Is legally,
Yeah.
your blood vessels popping.
It's probably
out.
like, yeah. There's situations where people are like, they're either put on like dialysis or some machines to keep them alive, and they're like, yeah, we're keeping him alive, but he's dead in 6 hours. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way to get around that.
And
so
I
then
already
they
think
can
that's
just-
like such a
So-
rare case in you.
But that's a rare case, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of problems with cryostasis stuff. Like, the problem is water is the big issue because water expands unless you do very specific stuff. And it's really hard to freeze somebody without all the water in your body expanding, or you have to replace all the water, which is dangerous.
Yeah, so they were
So then-
pumping.
Yeah, so but
Replacing
you
the blood
can
with something.
freeze you can freeze people if nothing happens. There has to be like zero movement, and yeah. So you can freeze stuff without water expanding. The problem is waking people up. As soon as you try and wake them up, it all just instantly expands.
I think the solution for this problem shouldn't even be freezing. It should be figuring out high speed travel. Remember that light speed book, Calvin, that we were listening to?
I don't want to think of it. Yeah, relativistic travel.
Like,
yeah, that's
in
probably
theory,
the
if you
answer,
could
yeah.
travel way far enough, then turn around and come back.
It's not even length; it's just speed.
Yeah, but like specifically, it's the acceleration change, so the turning around fact. So if you go super fast, and then as you
just gotta go
as
fast.
you turn around.
Yeah.
No, you have to. It's not just going fast, because then everything's relative, Calvin. Remember, you gotta change the acceleration of the fast for the time dilation.
You just have to go fast relative to Earth.
No,
you gotta do.
But then it's just relative. Then nothing changes.
What are you talking
about? Go back and listen to the book. That was a whole section on it. How like it's the act of turn. The whole idea of like going fastest speed of light, then coming back, or going the speed of light, then coming back. Calvin, it's in the book. Calvin, you literally were ranting about the same stuff. If you go the speed of light away from Earth, nothing's changing. But in the act of going, quote unquote, away from Earth, but in the act of turning around back to Earth while going the speed of light, because your acceleration is changing, that is when the time dilation occurs. So that's why people will be older when they get back.
I think you're straight up wrong. I'm pretty sure relativistic time dilation occurs. I'm pretty sure relativistic time dilation occurs as soon as there's difference in speeds. It doesn't matter about the acceleration.
Guys, we do have we have Craig. I'm asking Craig.
No, Craig.
Craig. Don't talk to Craig.
Don't talk to Craig.
To another one.
Calvin, remember, it's all relative, right? So if you're going at one constant speed, nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. The constant, it's the change in speed that causes the change. Right? That's literally the whole point.
If you're traveling at a higher speed of light, time relative to the Earth, like if you're traveling at like
changing.
No, that
nothing is changing when you're doing that.
All right, let's just say.
Here you go.
Read the book. It's literally an entire chapter dedicated to that exact scenario.
But I'm pretty sure it's based on your relativistic speed of light. You experience time difference. That's what I'm pretty sure it is.
No, you don't. Remember, it's not an experience.
Well, you don't experience time difference. It's only when you get back that you notice the difference.
Remember,
but if you have somebody going like it, anyways,
it's space that's changing.
Calvin,
it's the whole. You're literally doing the exact thing where you said.
I'm very confident that Calvin's wrong.
I got the fact.
I am baffled that you would go on about this book and then no. What are you reading?
Okay, the acceleration of the speed of light does not cause the time dilation. In fact, the speed of light is considered a constant in all reference frames and is not affected by acceleration. However, the theory.
No.
That's wrong, Kolton.
No.
That's okay.
That's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
Anyways, let's not talk about this. We can yell at each other about this later.
I'm upset that you would actually go against this whole thing that you were just getting all excited about.
By the way,
it's the quantum.
Einstein's relativity and the quantum revolution. Modern
Einstein's relativity, the quantum revolution. He literally goes through this exact scenario of like you have a brother and a sister, and the brother travels away and comes back, and then explains why. And that's what he explained.
So the reason that the brother would be younger relative when he comes back. Yes, the brother would be younger.
No.
Yes.
All right, let's let the audience read the book.
They stay the same age.
Sister would be older.
Sister be older.
Brother's not getting younger.
Yeah, he stays the same age.
No, sorry. What I meant was the brother would be younger than the sister. We're saying the same thing. Yeah. But it's not the acceleration. It's the fact that he was traveling at a higher relative.
It's the change of speed, because there's a point in time when you're not going the speed of light, and that is when it happens because you're changing.
Oh my god,
Calvin, you're going to speed of light, and then you stop going to speed of light, and then you go to speed of light again. That is why there will be a difference. But if you continue going to speed of light away forever,
Calvin,
there will never be a difference.
Right here. Remember in Interstellar,
that's the whole point of the chapter.
Traveling the speed of light. They're just on that planet. That's a different.
It's the act of stopping. That is when the difference occurs.
Mm-hmm.
If you continue going forward, nothing's happening. He explains the whole thing. Like he literally goes to that whole scenario and like step by step breaks it down.
Okay. You're wrong, but okay.
Read the book, Calvin.
The acceleration has nothing to do
Calvin,
with it. It's all about the
Calvin, read
Calvin,
the book. I'm gonna be
what's
mad
your
when you read the
topic?
book. Yeah,
I
what's
got
your
a good topic. Oh, actually, I like. No, wait. What's your pigeon? What was your pigeon shit one? Oh wait, what's what's everyone's consensus on the death? Is everyone getting frozen? I'm getting frozen. Fuck it.
If it's affordable
Yeah, free.
and it doesn't put anybody out, yeah,
Free.
why not?
I'm
I'd
getting
say,
frozen.
See what happens.
I'd say no, because if there, not saying there is, but if there is reincarnation and it's just like you're having a great fucking time.
Are you one of those guys that like worships 16 different gods because he's worried about the afterlife, Colton? I feel like you are.
Let me finish my point. And
No.
you're just like having a good time.
Also,
Maybe you're like an orgy fest or something, and you just come back as a fucking shriveled shrimp with like
There's no
hair in
afterlife,
his,
Colton. You're an idiot. Okay, Kari.
in his arms, and you're just like,
If I'm
true,
completely dead, then sure, but not if I'm.
Well, Colton, then you could just pull out a gun and shoot yourself, and you
Yeah,
go
but
back.
suicide's not going to take him back to the same place.
But reincarnation is not I don't think that's a thing. Yeah, that's. I don't think suicide's a
Colton,
problem.
what is
with
this afterlife orgy religion you follow? I might be interested.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
think the only
if there-
reincarnation
if
one I
there
know
is
Buddhism.
one, I'm just
and
saying if there is
Taoism.
one, and you do, and it's like, oh, why would I want to come back as a fucking shriveled old fuck, you know?
Okay, I mean, I guess if you have those beliefs, you probably don't want to do that anyway. So yeah.
And also, I don't want to be in this life the entire time. Earth's probably
Jesus.
boring.
Right. Sorry. What are you? Are you
I already
getting frozen?
answered. I already answered, but
okay.
you don't listen
Yeah,
to me. Apparently. You
No,
don't- you don't-
what
we're
you're
going
saying,
at
Kari.
different.
Let's not get
We're
back
going
in
at
it. Let's not get
different.
back in
We're going at different
You-
relativistic speeds, Kari.
You know what I'm
You're
gonna
going
do?
real fucking fast. You're
I'm
going
not
so
gonna freeze
goddamn
myself.
slow.
If I'm not gonna freeze myself, I am gonna go.
You're gonna
This
launch
has
yourself
nothing to do
into
with
a
time travel,
fucking
I swear to
rocket.
God.
White dwarf. And
I
I'm
want you to
gonna come
launch
right
yourself
back.
into the fucking sun in a rocket.
I'm
okay?
gonna go to the sun
Oh my
a
God.
few 100 million times, and I'll come back, and then they're gonna have everything.
Kari, I want you to fly directly.
Actually, I
into
have
the sun.
I Kari. You know what? Kari's probably right, and I'm being dumb. I'll give it to him. He's probably right. I trust him more than I trust me and my.
Is that just
knowledge
me? I'm
about
just
science
re-
physics. You're probably right. I gotta
Also,
listen to it
for
again.
the
No
record,
alsos.
we
I
could
don't
all
want to
be
bring up-
wrong,
no,
and
no,
this
no,
is
no,
just
no
wait.
more, no
Hold
more.
on. Wait,
Okay.
guys, this is a moment. We could all be wrong, and we're just regurgitating fluff engineered by the government that told us about.
Oh
quantum
my
physics.
god! I swear to God. Oh, I want to
And
bring
this
this
is
topic up.
actually not true.
Okay.
If
Go for it, Colin.
okay, Elon Musk shows up at your door
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do a trip to the moon? Free, but like it's gonna take like 6 months." And he's like, "We'll pay you like whatever you make now, just to like cover your bills, so you don't lose your house or whatever." But like, do you take it?
To
He's
the
gonna
moon?
pay you.
Yeah.
Go to the
Yeah,
moon.
to the moon.
That'd be
Go
cool.
to the moon.
Yeah.
Say the relative the same like risks that are right now. Are you taking it?
Yeah.
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 I don't think I
that'd be
would,
fun.
honestly.
Kari's the one. I knew one of you wouldn't do it. I couldn't
What?
remember
Why
who
not?
it was.
It'd
We
be
talked
fucking
about this
fun.
like
Just
a
because
couple
I
years
have
ago.
the same reason that I have a fear of a lot of like, I don't know, fast moving. I don't like the idea of like skydiving or bungee jumping either, and the moon is like on the level of that.
I guess,
basically.
yeah. It's
So-
pretty existential. You're like, oh, that
Would
is
you?
Earth
What
right
if?
there.
Okay, Kari, would you do like the training? If he's like, if you're not comfortable,
I
you
do the
don't
training,
have to.
sure. It's just
Yeah,
mostly
yeah,
I have these irrational fears, and ever since I was a kid, and I saw the
Are
unfortunate
you telling us to
incident
take you
of the rocket.
skydiving?
No, the rocket.
Which
Which
one?
rocket? The one that blew up with the teacher.
Oh,
Challenger,
Challenger,
Discovery.
I guess,
Well,
Yeah.
both of them.
Just,
whoa. Oh, shit.
I want to push Kari out of a plane. I think that would be fun.
No, I might. I'm not saying I wouldn't do something like that at one point, but I'm just saying the moon is a whole nother level of that in my book.
Yeah,
and
that's
where
true.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's really scary when you jump out of a plane and land up on the moon. That's pretty wild. Anyways,
Yeah.
Kay, what's your pigeon shit story? I want to know what this one is.
You said bird. He didn't say pigeon.
Oh, I
bird
just
shit.
Oh,
okay.
there's more than two. There was Apollo 1, Challenger.
no.
Colum-
Challenger and
Columbia.
Discovery were both on Challenger, Discovery, and Columbia. Those are like the. How many shuttles were there? I can't remember. Anyways.
Oh, this
two
was
of them-
during a launch rehearsal. Apollo
No,
1
no.
killed 3 crew members.
Well, Colton,
1967.
the two specific ones we're talking about is the one that's famous
Yeah.
because it killed the teacher, and then the other one was.
Yeah, that was
'cause NASA
Challenger.
That was
yeah.
Challenger, and then Discovery.
That was and the Discovery, I think, right? That was the one that blew up on re-entry.
I'm checking.
Anyways. Sorry, Kane, what's your bird shit story?
Has a bird ever shit on you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I had a bird
Did this
growing
happen
up.
to you?
Me?
I had a
You guys have definitely heard the story. I think
I can't remember, but do tell.
it was. I think it was a grade.
Oh, Cade,
Grade
you and all
11 or
your
12.
bird shit stories.
There's only one. I think.
No,
This sounds
There's-
vaguely familiar.
No, the Discovery there was no crash. It had No incidents.
Okay, I'm thinking about something
accidents.
else then.
It's probably just Challenger.
No, there's two ones. There's the rocket. There's the boosters blowing up, which is the teacher, and then there's the reentry. Those are like the two big famous ones of NASA being incompetent. Anyways, Kate, bird shit.
Bird shit.
Grade 11.
Grade 11. We're on like a school trip. I think we were at Vancouver Island. I forget what we were there for, but we were just like in between doing the actual like school things. We were just walking around the city, and we were walking just wherever we're going. And then I just heard like a seagull, like in the distance. I heard like the bird sound, and then just as it finished going, I just felt bird shit just right on my forehead.
Oh, on your forehead.
It was right on my face. We were just walking in the street. I was like, oh god. People laughed or whatever, and then there was a newspaper stand. I was like, oh great. I grabbed that and I wiped it off. And then people were like, you now have bird shit and ink all over your face. And then I ran into like a convenience store that was right there, and like the guy right there is like, yeah, we don't have a bathroom, and he just like kind of like started laughing at me. And we had to like keep walking, and then
you didn't like have like napkins to sell you or something.
no, he just kind of
I would have been taking my shirt off and like wiping my face down.
Yeah, just go tarps off there. Yeah.
We went across the street to a Starbucks, and then I was like, "Can I use the bathroom?" And then they pulled like, they're like, "Oh, like you have to buy a drink or whatever." I was like, "I have bird shit on my face." And they're like, "Okay."
That's fucking dumb. That reminds me of a date I had where I was eating a hot dog in Granville Island, just with whatever my date to my right, and I got like the seagulls just shit right on like my right shoulder on my coat.
I don't think I've ever gotten bird shit on in public.
It's not great.
I've owned birds, and I've had friends with birds, and they shit on you, whatever. It's a big deal. They're usually also not the size of a seagull. They're little like cockatiels and stuff, right? When they shit, it's like, nah, you shit.
Yeah, I remember scraping pigeon shit because my grandpa owned like a bunch of pigeons, like a coop, just like to race
really
them.
Toxic.
I don't know about that, but
guy rat.
it's gross.
Wait, what's pigeon racing? I don't know about this.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Pause. You don't know what pigeon racing is?
I don't actually.
I'm with Kari.
What?
I'm pretty sure that has you guys in your hillbilly lifestyle.
You've never heard of like this is a big deal. This is a big thing.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
The Texas, Louisiana.
You've never heard of like this is a thing, Kolton. Yeah,
that's the thing. I don't know like the logistics of it, but I remember going out to train the pigeons. What he would do is he would just like put them in his car, like in little carriers and whatnot. We'd drive like fucking way out in the boonies. Like this was in Edmonton, Alberta, when they still live there. And we would go like 2-hour drive and whatnot, and just let them fly and let them free. Yeah. And they would like find their way home just for some magical fucking reason. I have no idea.
They're
obviously,
crazy.
like after a while, like you have to like feed them obviously, so they know that this is home, this is where they go. But they just have like this awareness. I don't know if it's like magnetism or something, or if they just know directions.
I don't think there is some like birds can sense the magnetic field.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is that or just they have a good sense of
long distance races can go up to 1,200 kilometers.
Jesus Christ.
Have you guys never heard of carrier pigeons? Are you serious? Did you think those were just made up?
I heard, but like I thought that was just racing them. It sounds crazy to me.
I don't know how the race is. If it's like distance or if it's like the first one that comes back.
And when you just like take a photo and you're like, hey guys, look,
that I don't know. Well, like you also have to like put these little bracelets on their ankles, so like who wins kind of thing. And he actually got first place in the local Alberta, I don't know, pigeon club or something.
2 people in North America that do it.
There's more than that.
There's a Canadian pigeon racing union, Calvin.
Oh my god, we don't even have a union. Wow, that's crazy. Is that the pigeons or any of the? Wait, who's in the union? Is it the pigeons or is it people? Is it the pigeons themselves? Do they go out on strike? What does a pigeon strike look like? Do they just fly over people's houses and shit on houses?
If they don't get what they want,
yeah.
4 years ago, recently, there was a racing pigeon sold for $1.4 million.
Holy shit.
Dude, rich people.
That's such like billionaire.
The biggest market is in China now.
I have 50 million pigeons I race every week.
I race 50. I race. I've been racing pigeons for 45 years.
How did you get your riches? Pigeon racing.
I've been pigeon racing for 17 years.
No, it's pretty insane. Just like the logistics of like the upkeeping these pigeons. Like sometimes when to like keep the population down what you would do is that you take fake eggs and like put them underneath their assholes. Or how did I say it like
You don't
that?
have to.
Just say
Why
it
did you
like
say
that.
it like that?
Jeez.
Why
Why
did you
did I say
say it
that?
like that? What do you do with the
We know
eggs,
Colton's job on the
I'm
farm.
flustered. Okay, you literally put them in the nest so that they don't lay any eggs.
Yeah, and they think they're like
And
hatching
yeah,
eggs.
it's like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous, and like the upkeep and like having to put
Well,
like,
you,
these
you don't want a
drops and-
pregnant. You don't want a pregnant bird. They can't run. Pregnant birds don't make you no money. A lot of commonalities
run.
between being a
So-
pimp and being a pigeon owner.
So where
Pregnant
does
birds
the-
don't make you no
okay.
money.
So this is one of my main questions though. Is like it doesn't seem like a very spectator friendly sport outside of maybe the
Yeah.
initial release.
Not really.
Sorry,
yeah.
this is a
So
sport
then-
for old rich people to do
No,
tax
but my
write-offs
point is-
when they buy birds.
My point is like how to like yeah, that's definitely probably it. But like how does it make money? Like where's this 1.5
Oh, it
million?
bro,
doesn't.
this
It
is
doesn't.
not-
It really doesn't. It's just
Like,
like it was like a club.
Listen to the
phenomenon.
American here. What's the hustle, bro? How do you make money from this, bro?
No. I'm just saying, why is
How
the
do I
pigeon
make
selling for
cold hard
$1.4 million if it's
Well,
like
you gotta get
a
on that
sport?
grind.
I don't know.
Because
You
it
know what I mean?
goes
'Cause
fast.
I get a
goes
racing
fast.
horse. I don't know. I get a
It goes
racing
fast.
horse.
Maybe he's a
No one else is
romantic and he's writing
are there
letters to
horse-
his wife.
Wait,
or
hold
something.
on. Are there horse? Oh, there is horse racing.
The horses sell for a lot too. It's just but people I don't know. People watch.
You know,
those
horse
and they
cum
bet
sells
on
for
it.
Real
an
quick.
insane amount of money.
I love that Calvin jumped down our throats for not knowing what pigeon racing is, but he forgot horse racing was a thing.
Yeah, but I remembered it after 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you know that
The people
when was
people
this,
probably bet on them.
2014 or 2012? Yeah, I think it's betting. It's like big in the UK. I think 2014 or 2012. A human won like a long distance endurance race against a horse. So like long distance,
What?
humans
Oh,
are
yeah,
monsters.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
that's-
crazy.
yeah.
I think it's over. It depends on the
Because we can
terrain. I
sweat.
think it's over like flatter roads. The horse has a better edge, but if it's over mud, the humans win, which is weird. So I'm a perfect specimen for this. I'm a great example. I don't think. I think a dead horse might win against me. if I was
Imagine
raising it.
training your whole career in
Yeah.
track only to be known as the guy that can beat a horse.
that'll just be sick.
At least it's not beat a horse off.
No.
That's
Yeah.
a quick misprint. That
I'm
ruins
just saying.
your
I'm
life.
just saying. If he, I'm okay. I don't want to bash this guy's skills, but like I would assume that
I think it's
would
a
he
marathon runner
win
that
against
somebody did
other
his stunt
long
with.
distance runners? Like basically, you know what I
I
mean?
think so. Yeah, because for a while we'd lose against horses.
No. I'm saying the guy who beat the horse.
Yeah,
Like if you were to put him
I think
in
he's
the
just like a
Olympics.
normal, like ultra marathon runner. Like I think he's like a well-known ultra marathon runner. I can't remember who it is. 2012. Probably some guy from Africa somewhere that can run fucking insane
Why?
numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's that. Wait, that's the guy. Who could... Africans. There's a couple different tribes in Africa that
Mhm. Keep
their
going.
VO2 levels are unbelievable, and they can run so much further than anyone else in the world. I'm not saying black people can run fast. I'm saying some people from Africa can run fast. You dickhead. I swear to God. I swear to God. How is me being racist being like, these people are in way better shape than I could ever be? You know what? Let's not get into this.
I just thought of my next hot take for next week.
No, no.
No, it doesn't relate to what you said. No.
no.
I don't think black people are that
Colton.
smart. Colton. No, Colton.
No.
Oh my
I'll let
God.
y'all know at the end of the episode what it is, or
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
well,
God.
Go on.
Anyways, good pigeon shit story, Kade. Thanks
Yeah,
for
good.
that.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
it was good.
I
Your
learned
pain
something.
is our
Pigeon racing.
amusement.
Wait, sorry. How did you know it was a racing pigeon that shit on you? I'm confused.
I said it was a seagull.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's-
yeah.
What? How did we get to pigeons?
Colton talking
bird,
about
yeah.
pigeon assholes.
Oh, no. All right, Colton's uncle raced with big boats.
Oh.
If you could, never mind. Never mind.
Colton's
Never mind.
brother had an incident recently.
Oh, yeah. Where is that?
my little brother, he's 10 for all y'all know. He
Oh my God.
he got banned from Roblox.
Roblox. I laughed
What did he
so. He said, "Goofy ass squad."
Goofy
squads.
goofy ass squad.
You know what the best part about this is? Some kid got offended at that and reported him. Mods don't just sit around looking for that. So he said "goofy ass squads" probably to like a couple people being mean or just being annoying, and those people all reported him.
And I
Fucking-
said to him, I was like, why did you get banned? He's like, I sang a joke to my friends. Goofy ass squads was it? So it's like, I think that was just a username. So it's like it wasn't
That
even
was a
his
username.
fault. Yeah.
Oh wow.
In
Oh
any
my
case.
god, that's so funny.
She's trying to say we were working on an appeal. It's glitching. Bye. All right.
Yeah,
An
we're filing for
appeal?
appeal. We're gonna get the
It's
work
a
in. We're gonna
one-day
get justice.
ban. That's funny. What a
Personally,
legend.
he is kind of addicted to that game, and I'm kind of like, damn, he should get a perma ban so he doesn't play that game anymore and just
Or he should play any other game that's any good.
Exactly.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's because it's free. That's why.
It's-
Is he
well,
is he
yeah.
a builder or a player? Like what's
He's a
he?
play. He plays all the games. It's like
He's a player.
there's so many in that fucking Roblox. I've just
It's just a sandbox type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like what Gmod was when we were kids.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you can like, it's kind of cool because
Why does Kari know about
kid-
this? Kari,
There's
No,
like he
because-
plays a lot of the Bed Wars. He plays
because
like
it's
the
where people learn
Pet
game
Simulator.
Car's the one
like-
that reported him.
yeah, Kari got mad that he got called goofy.
No, like
Yeah, squad.
I mean, it's considered predatory the way that they do the company, but like a lot of the money comes from indie devs who just like make games on Roblox,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then they, Roblox gets a good portion of the money.
Yeah, one of
Usually
the
those
biggest
indie devs
ones.
are kids.
Yeah, like the Pet Simulator or like whatever pet something, and they actually like sell merchandise of these like pets and whatnot. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize that it's all just Roblox. It takes all the revenue or
Yep.
percentage of it.
It's like
Yeah,
think of it
don't
as like
play something
Steam,
else
but
good,
like
like
with a
WoW.
crazy ratio.
Time to try like WoW or something else. It's much better. Less
It's usually
He's
children,
10.
though.
I'll
Yeah.
give him.
He's
give
10.
him
I was playing WoW when I was like 8.
Okay, boomer.
All right.
Okay.
Kari, do you want to take us home with one more topic about your lamps?
Oh, the lamps. Yeah. Lamps are falling from the sky here. Apparently, they use bad bulbs on street lamps here in Wellington.
Oh my god,
So
that would
they've
be
been
terrifying.
randomly falling, and then the council has to replace. When I say the council, as in the government, that's what they have to replace like tens of thousands of them. So it's everyone's all like,
Actually, I think I saw that recently
expensive.
where it's in like Burnaby compared to Vancouver. Like it was a Reddit post where it's like in Burnaby they completely replaced all the light bulbs.
I saw
It's like
that.
more
that,
like fluorescent or I don't know.
See
oh,
that
wow.
photo?
Energy efficient one.
the
Yeah.
aerial picture. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
energy
yeah.
efficient. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
I think the plan is for some places they're just going to replace them as they burn instead of doing
I guess yeah.
a full like insta replace, which maybe makes sense.
I
wonder-
wake up one day, you're like, what the fuck? Why is it all?
I wonder if the energy burn thing. I really wonder how much money is saved if you
Probably
replace
a lot.
all the street lamps. Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
why
the
if you
thing
do all
is,
of them,
like,
probably quite
if
a
you
bit.
do all of them, are you causing more energy to be expended because people are having to drive around replacing them early? Does that
Probably
make
over
sense?
time.
Oh.
Like over time, I could see it winning, but like maybe there's an argument. It's like, well, you have like 50 trucks driving around.
It's one of those things where
like,
like
is that more energy than you're gonna
They
save?
actually did it
in the
all
next
by
5
foot.
years?
No equipment.
All
They
by
just crawled
foot.
Yep.
That'd probably
Can we
cost.
have
them,
can we have bikes in
get
there?
people in shape. Get lots of jobs. Lots of jobs. Oh, crawling up would be pretty dangerous. Now that I think about it.
What were you saying,
That would
Curry?
be crazy.
You wanted to add something to that?
oh no, I was just like how it turns into a big statistics match.
Oh yeah.
And
Really.
then everyone, yeah.
What's the most
I
economic
mean, it's,
factor
if
of
you're
how we
doing
can-
something
No,
that's
you're-
good for the
but-
environment, I think you
No,
have
Calvin,
to.
you're right. I'm just saying that it's like people start,
Yeah,
going back and
yeah,
forth
yeah,
on
yeah.
different
Well,
statistics that don't.
technically,
Yeah.
it's like no.
Technically.
Hire some engineers that understand it and make them do the math and whatever they come up with.
But
do
then
that.
Yeah.
whoever is paying the money, right? They'll hire the engineers that will, agree
Fudge
with
it?
them. Not even
Yeah.
just budget, but just like be like, oh well, what's the statistic that
Oh my
makes this
God,
look
how
good?
did we get on politics and
It's
fucking
not politics. It's just like
nepotism so quickly? I swear to God.
Anyways,
Oh,
yeah, let's
God.
move on
Yep.
from that.
Yeah,
That's it.
Jesus.
That's our show.
Wow.
Well,
Okay,
is that
for
a
next
show?
week, my
I
next
swear I'm
hot
not
take:
conspiracy theorist.
cinema isn't
Okay.
dead. People just like to bitch. That's
What are
it.
you talking about,
What are you
Colton?
talking about?
You're not allowed to just read the front
Oh,
page of
right, Colin.
BuzzFeed.
No, I literally just thought about this.
Okay. Well, tune in next week if you want to hear Colton.
For
rant
that
about
really
that again.
exciting topic.
And next week we hear Calvin's opinion on the new Oscar rules.
Ooh, that too.
Yeah.
There's new rules. I'm gonna have a strong opinion based on no information. Tune in next week.
Peace.
Goodbye.